Everyday English listening. Let's listen to English every day because it helps us improve our listening skills, understand pronunciation better, learn new vocabulary, and become more confident in real conversations. Keep practicing. Listening skill is very important when we learn English. When it comes to learning English, many learners focus mainly on speaking and writing. They want to be able to express themselves, which is understandable. However, there is another essential skill that often gets overlooked: listening. Listening is not just hearing sounds. It is about understanding meaning, catching details, and becoming familiar with how English is really used in conversations, stories, and real-life situations. In fact, listening is the foundation of communication and plays a key role in becoming fluent in English. Why listening is the first step to understanding. From the time we are babies, listening is the first language skill we develop. We listen for months before we ever speak. This shows that listening is not only natural but also necessary. Listening helps us understand how words are pronounced, learn natural sentence structures, absorb the rhythm and tone of speech, recognize common expressions and idioms. When we listen carefully, our brain starts to connect sounds with meanings. That's how we learn to respond correctly and naturally. Listening builds vocabulary. Every time you listen to English, you are exposing your mind to new words and phrases. Even if you don't understand every word at first, repeated listening helps you recognize and remember them. Let's say you're watching a video where someone says, "I'm starving. Let's grab a bite to eat." At first, you might not know what grab a bite means, but after hearing it several times in different contexts, you realize it means go eat something quickly. Now you've learned a natural phrase just through listening. This is how real English vocabulary grows, not by memorizing long word lists, but by hearing words in context. Listening improves pronunciation and accent. When you listen often, you begin to notice how native speakers link words together, which syllables they stress, how their voice rises and falls, intonation. For example, in fast speech, "What are you doing?" might sound like "What you doing?" You won't see this in a textbook, but you'll hear it in conversations, movies, and interviews. Listening helps you train your ears to understand natural speech and helps you imitate correct pronunciation. By copying the way words are said, you slowly begin to sound more natural when you speak. This is one of the best ways to reduce your native accent over time and gain more confidence. Listening helps with grammar in a natural way. Many learners struggle with English grammar when trying to write or speak. They think too much. Is this past tense or present perfect? Do I need to use "thee" here? But when you listen regularly, grammar becomes something you feel, not just something you think about. If you hear enough examples of "he has gone to the store," "she's been working all day," "they were watching TV when I called," you start to understand grammar patterns naturally, just like native speakers do. Listening gives you confidence. Have you ever tried to speak English and then panicked when you didn't understand the other person's reply? This happens a lot. People practice speaking, but they forget to practice understanding. Listening helps prepare you for real conversations. The more you listen, the more you can understand questions quickly. Follow along with native speakers. Answer naturally without feeling nervous. When you can understand, you feel more in control. And when you feel in control, you speak better too. So, good listening builds confidence in communication. How to improve your listening skills. Here are some practical ways to make your listening better and more fun. 1. Listen every day. Even 10 to 15 minutes a day is enough. Make it part of your routine, like brushing your teeth. Choose something you enjoy so you'll keep doing it. 2. Use subtitled videos. Start with English subtitles. Listen and read at the same time. Then listen again, without reading. This helps you recognize the sounds and meanings. Listening is the foundation of communication. When we think of communication, we often think of speaking, giving speeches, sharing stories, asking questions, or explaining ideas. But what we often forget is that listening is just as important, if not more. In fact, listening is the foundation of all communication. It is the first skill we develop as babies and the one we use most in our daily interactions. Without good listening, no real communication can happen. 3. Repeat and shadow. Listen to a sentence, then repeat it out loud, trying to copy the pronunciation and rhythm. This is called shadowing. It improves both listening and speaking. 4. Listen to different accents. English is spoken around the world: British, American, Australian, and more. Try listening to different speakers to train your ears to understand all types of English. 5. Don't worry about every word. You don't need to understand 100%. Focus on the main ideas and listen for familiar words. With time, your understanding will grow. What is listening? Listening is more than just hearing sounds. Hearing is passive. It happens without effort. For example, you hear background music or traffic noise without trying. But listening is active. It means giving attention, processing information, and understanding the speaker's message. Good listening requires focus, patience, willingness to understand, respect for the speaker. When you truly listen, you're not just waiting for your turn to speak. You're trying to understand the other person's thoughts, feelings, and intentions. Why listening is the foundation of communication. 1. It builds understanding. Communication is about exchanging ideas and feelings. But if one person speaks and the other doesn't listen, the message is lost. Misunderstandings happen, emotions are hurt, and the connection breaks down. Listening ensures that the message is received accurately. Imagine a student explaining their problem to a teacher. If the teacher listens well, they can offer helpful advice. If the teacher is distracted, the student might feel ignored and not understood. In every relationship, personal or professional, listening builds bridges of understanding. 2. It shows respect and empathy. When you listen to someone, you show that their thoughts matter. You give them space to express themselves. This is especially important in emotional conversations. Sometimes people don't need answers. They just need someone to listen. Listening says, "I value your opinion. Your feelings are important. You are not alone." It creates trust, strengthens relationships, and shows emotional intelligence. 3. It helps you learn. We learn through listening, at school, at work, and in everyday life. Lectures, instructions, feedback, stories, and conversations are all ways we receive knowledge. If you don't listen well, you miss out on important details. For example, a student who listens carefully will understand lessons better. A worker who listens to instructions will complete tasks correctly. A friend who listens deeply will learn more about the other person's life and thoughts. The better we listen, the more we learn. 4. It improves our responses. When we truly listen, we can give thoughtful and relevant replies. We don't just guess, we respond with understanding. This makes conversations more meaningful. For example, in a job interview, listening carefully helps you answer with confidence. In a disagreement, listening helps you reply calmly and respectfully, rather than emotionally. In a friendship, listening helps you offer real comfort and support. Good listeners make better speakers. Listening in English and language learning. Listening is especially important when learning a new language like English. It helps you learn new vocabulary in context, understand pronunciation and tone, get used to different accents, hear real-life sentence structures. Before we can speak well, we must first listen well. Babies listen for many months before they say their first words. The same is true when learning English. Listening is the foundation of fluency. Listening in English and language learning. Listening is especially important when learning a new language like English. It helps you learn new vocabulary in context, understand pronunciation and tone, get used to different accents, hear real-life sentence structures. Before we can speak well, we must first listen well. Babies listen for many months before they say their first words. The same is true when learning English. Listening is the foundation of fluency. Listening in different situations. In school, good listening helps you follow lessons, ask better questions, and succeed in exams. In work, it improves teamwork, helps avoid mistakes, and builds strong communication. In relationships, it strengthens trust, reduces arguments, and brings people closer. In public, listening to news, announcements, or instructions helps you stay safe and informed. Communication is a two-way street. One person speaks and the other listens. Without listening, communication is incomplete. Listening is not just a skill, it is a gift we give to others. It tells people that we care, that we understand, and that we value what they say. Whether you're learning English, talking with a friend, attending a meeting, or comforting someone in need, listening will always be the key to connection. It is the base on which all good conversations, relationships, and understanding are built. So let us remember, speak with kindness, but listen with love. Because in the world of communication, listening is the heart of it all. Listening is one of the most important skills we can develop in life. Whether we are learning a new language, working with others, talking with family, or building friendships, good listening makes all the difference. While speaking often gets more attention, it is listening that forms the heart of real communication. Without listening, we cannot understand, connect, or grow. In every area of life, school, work, or relationships, good listening is a powerful skill that brings success, respect, and understanding. Why good listening is important. 1. It builds strong relationships. In friendships, families, and romantic relationships, good listening builds trust and closeness. When we feel listened to, we feel valued. We feel like our words matter. On the other hand, when someone doesn't listen, we feel ignored, and this can cause distance. Good listening shows love and care. When you listen with your full attention, you are saying, "I care about you. I want to understand you." 2. It helps avoid misunderstandings. Many conflicts start because people don't listen carefully. They assume, interrupt, or ignore the other person's point of view. This leads to confusion, frustration, and even fights. Good listening helps you understand the real meaning, ask clear questions, confirm what was said, give the right response. It helps everything go more smoothly in conversations. In conclusion, good listening is very important in every part of life. It is the key to strong relationships, deep learning, and real communication. It shows respect, reduces problems, and helps us grow as kind, thoughtful people. We all want to be heard, but the best way to be heard is to listen first. So take time each day to practice listening, at home, at school, in English learning, and in every conversation. You'll soon see how much your life and relationships improve. Listening is not a passive activity. It's an active, powerful tool that helps you learn real English, the kind people use every day. It teaches you vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, and cultural context. It builds your understanding, your confidence, and your ability to connect with others. So, don't skip listening practice. Make it part of your daily learning routine. Whether you listen to songs, podcasts, videos, or conversations, each minute you spend listening is a step closer to fluency. Remember, the more you listen, the better you understand. And the better you understand, the better you speak.